Hey, good evening. I'm Lisa with Lisa Boo Designs. Today, you're part of the Christ and Crafting Facebook event. So, you might be watching on a couple of different places. So, just wanted to let you know that if you want to follow all of the presenters today, you can hop on over to Facebook and join the free group, the Crafty Bunch. So I'm going to go ahead and share myself into there. I am the last presenter and also the host of the event. It's been super, super fun. So many creatives. So I'm just going to go ahead and, oops, it's hard to see with the lights. I'm going to go ahead. All right, sprinkle myself into the Crafty Bunch. And so let me know that you are watching, where you're watching from. Feel free to let me know if you're watching on replay. I would love to be able to talk to you and respond to your comments and your questions. So here's the thing. This event started at 11 a.m. and we had a great group of ladies. So we had at 11 Pretty Pieces by Michelle opened us up. Then Totally Together Creating with Brenda. Then Studio Lydia Bridget Design and Country Loving Market. And then at 2 o'clock, Joyful Artistry by Heidi. Now, she will be in the group twice because she had a part 1 and part 2. We've been having some issues with Facebook. We've been having issues with internet, I guess, too. I had issues with internet. Normally, I would have 2 cameras face down. I really don't like going live up and down portrait style. I like doing it landscape, especially for YouTube, so I apologize for that. But I was not able to let you see my table unless I did that because the internet is acting up and I need the internet to sync up my cameras. So I apologize. But then after Joyful Artistry by Heidi was my Shell Bell Creations. Then Texie's Treasure Chest. She was just on right before me. And so I loved hearing everybody talk and share. It was really awesome. So today I wanted to make some scripture cards, and I thought, this could be multi-uses, multi-purpose. You can obviously use these in journals, but when I was first thinking about it, I ended up making this one a little bit larger. I was thinking about index card size. So like 3 by 5 roughly. And then you can put a little hole here. If you have like an eyelet, you can do that, or just use the reinforcement tabs, however you could do it. And then you could put them on a ring, or you could create cards and you can send them to somebody. But of course, like I said, you can use them in your journal. So we're going to be creating some of these cool cards. And hey, Heidi, I loved your little God can. Guys, if you didn't see her, make sure you go on the Crafty Bunch, because there you can watch all of the presenters. And like I said, I'm the last one. So if you are just getting home, you can go through them one by one. Make sure you go and hit replay and then follow all of the presenters. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can see myself here a little bit better and follow the comments, because it is awfully hard to see the comments with the ring light. All right, I'm going to put this up here and see, because I can see them a little bit better. All right, so you can use any kind of paper. I'm using watercolor paper today, and we're going to be using some distress oxides. And thank you for sprinkling, Michelle. Thank you. Hey, Lori. So here's what I did. I've talked about this before. If you have beautiful handwriting like my Shell Bell Creations, and she can do hand lettering, you can handwrite it. Or if you just like to handwrite, I've been having issues with my hands. I've been having trouble writing and doing fine things. So I decided, hey, Callie, I decided to print them. And this is what I did. So I saved this. I take my 2 3/4 plies from my napkins. I decoupage with napkins all the time. We might use this one today just to try to do some different types of scripture cards, just to give you some ideas of different ways that you can do this. Again, for yourself to memorize scripture or to give as a gift to somebody. There's so many different ways you can do this. I take my double-sided tape, and then I put some usually just the top and the sides. If I have trouble, if it starts giving me trouble, I put a little bit on the bottom. Oops, I don't know why it's like delayed. So maybe I should. It says, "Hi Lisa, awesome event. I love hearing everyone's stories and their relationship with God." That I know. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, right? And I was like, let's spread the gospel. Let's testify, share scriptures. It's my favorite thing to do. I've done Christ and Crafting events a couple years ago. I did 30 days of lives and invited people to come on with me and do a dual live. And that was super fun. And I've been wanting to do that. And so when the opportunity was presented by Mama P's Creations, that's Cheryl. She's the host of the Crafty Bunch. I was like, I need to do a Christ in Crafting because that's really just my favorite thing ever. So I take these plies of napkins. Now this particular one is just a white napkin. Sometimes you can get a little bit of ghosting. I shouldn't have done it that way. Typically, I actually don't do it that way. Let me show you how I normally do it. I have a little brush and I use water. This particular one has some ghosting, so I'm going to show it to you. So I just make a little design there, and then I'll just start. You can do it any which way. Usually I use my nail or a scissor or sharp edge. And when you do the water line, it becomes like an organic edge. So I just did a couple of different scriptures because I don't have a favorite. I have lots of favorites. This one is the one that I use all the time and have for very many years before the song came out. I would handwrite it. I usually do it a lot on cards, and it's number 6. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Whenever you pray for someone, if you can pray scripture, that's the best kind of prayer, right? The best kind of prayer to do. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hey, Lydia. That was so good. Thank you for joining me. Totally together. Hey, Brenda. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm cutting up. And see, I'm using my data. I was having trouble with the Wi-Fi, so I just went live on hopefully you can see this. Anyway, I have lots of scriptures. I have 1 Corinthians 13:4, which is the definition of love. We use that word loosely. Sorry, the dogs are barking. I try to tell everybody, do not come and go today because I have a live. Hopefully you guys are hearing me. So let me, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, the other one, I quote this all the time. My husband and I have a podcast and I have a radio show here locally. And I say this all the time. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. But the entire scripture is, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So again, this is a great way to just, remember scripture or give it as a gift. And then I have some other ones. So I use different fonts. And I just tape it onto my copy paper and put it through. So here's the thing. It should be a toner printer because then it won't bleed. If you have an inkjet, what you'll have to do is like spray it with hairspray to set it, and then you can decoupage with it. So that's just the thing. All right, so let's go ahead and create a little bit. So I thought the first one, so this one I did with watercolor. I had already done the paper a couple of weeks ago. I did a whole bunch of watercolor paper backgrounds, and I just cut it out and I did that, and then I stamped on it. And then I'm going to seal it here in a second. I'm going to show you, but I think this one was supposed to be, I guess we'll have to handwrite that one in. All right. So I reinforced this index card because it's super thin. And I just put like some kind of cardstock on the back side. And then let me see which one I want to take. I have different size. This is my watercolor paper. Let me see. This one will work. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this one plain with my napkin. Hey, Lisa. All right, so I'm going to take this napkin and I'm just going to cut out, I'm not sure how much I'll use, so I'm just going to cut out a little piece. That's probably too wide, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut a piece off. Actually, that was pretty good. All right, and then I'm going to cut out, let me see, I'll just cut out this. And see, it's just so easy to use these napkins. I have tons of napkins that I have on my website, which is lisaboondesigns.com. And I don't have it on here, but if you just do !shop, it'll take you to my website. And I have, it's called Random Napkin Packs of Napkins. There's all kinds. You can do this so many different ways. If you're doing paper to paper, you can use a glue stick. You can also use any kind of decoupage medium. A lot of times I use DIY paints, decoupage medium, or liquid matte medium. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and just get this on here with a glue stick, and I'm using the glue stick. And for right now, I'm probably going to seal it. So you can get a nice finish, not wrinkly. So if you don't like the wrinkles, and this is why I'm doing it in a couple of different ways. If you don't like the wrinkles, then this might be a way that you might like to decoupage with napkins, as I got a big wrinkle in there. So using one of these wallpaper things, you can get that on pretty straight. I don't worry about anything that's hanging out until after I'm done. And this napkin is actually pretty intense. So a lot of times what I will do is if it's too tense, I will tone it down a bit. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. I'm going to do this one at an angle. And again, I'm just getting this down here with my glue stick. I like using the matte medium. It gives the paper a different feel. I did it with the matte medium on this one, and I did it in a different way. So I'm going to show that. And I've showed it before, but it's super, super fun. So now I want to tone this down a little bit. I'm going to actually this is where I use my scraps. I thought I grabbed a scrap one. Oh, I think I used it. I used it for a last minute scripture that I wanted to do. Let me see. Do I have any scraps? I have all my napkins are up here. Guys, did you even notice, if you follow me, I'm in my craft studio. Like, I've made so much progress. It's been incredible. Like, it's been a thing. I'm not finished with it yet, but I was determined to do this live in my new space. I've been working so hard. It needs a lot of work. I've got together my craft table. It's a stand-up one, but I have a stool. I just couldn't get it in the room. I have a stool. I just couldn't get it in the room because there's stuff all around me, because I've just been working at it, and I was going to get a sit to stand desk. Hey, Sherry. And I decided at the last minute to go with my original plan, which is the 9 cube organizing things, and then I put a board on top of it.
9 cubed is 729.
No, why did she pick that up? So I've got stuff that I've got to put in these cubes, and I have it on casters so that I can move it all around. So if I'm working on anything, I can do this. So anyway, so I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to put this on here, and this is going to help to tone it down some. It's a really bad connection. I'm going to keep on going, and here's why. I can get this video. It's going to keep on going, and here's why. I can get this video. It's going to save it, and I can put it on my website. Or I can repost it. I apologize. I don't know why it's so bad. I'm not sure because it's actually my phone data and I have pretty good coverage. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. The other way that you could do this is, and your paper's going to get wet, so be careful with your paper because it gets really fragile, is just to use some gesso, or you can use some paint, some white paint or any color paint to tone it down. So I'm going to put my clear napkin over here, and I want it, my clear napkin over here, and I want it to wrinkle. I want it to wrinkle. And then I'm going to lay some of that down. But I want the wrinkles on this one. And it just ages it. And it looks so cool. I hope that you guys can see this. Now it's stuck to my, there we go. So it just helps to tone it down some. Grab some baby white so I don't get that medium everywhere. So I love using my scriptures. If you follow me, you know I use my Bible. I have several Bibles that I use for, I'm going to dry this really quickly, for crafting. And I have hymnal pages that I use. So I love it. I love to share the gospel. Like I said, my husband and I have a podcast. And so we incorporate our business with our faith. So it's spiritual growth, it's personal growth, it's business growth, and we just, because it's just who we are. We incorporate the Bible into every aspect of our life, and guess we have internet issues. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. So, Linda, I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I'm afraid that if I start and stop, it's going to have problems. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it from my phone. I'm gonna see if my phone does better, because I have it on my iPad. All right, let me see. I'm gonna stop this one, and I'm gonna go to my phone, and let's see if that'll work. All right, sorry about that, guys.